12 months ago, the HotelPlanner Tour returned to Poland. A wait of 15 years, finally ending in triumphant fashion.
19-year-old Angel Ayora secure his maiden title.
The occasion wasn't just a celebration of Polish golf, it also marked the coming of age of Angel Ayora. The then 19-year-old claimed his maiden professional title, romping to a 3-stroke victory. Now, just over a year later, we're back in Central Europe, with Rosa Golf Club again on hosting duties. This parkland layout was built to exacting USGA specification, with over 1 million cubic meters of earth shifted during construction. Since opening its doors in 2005, the reputation of Rosa Golf Club has only grown, and it's now widely regarded as one of the finest in the country. A proper test then at a critical time of the season for the class of 2025. With just 5 events remaining before the finale in Mallorca, promotion to the DP World Tour looms large. After hitting something of a purple patch over the summer, one man in pole position to secure one of those 20 life-changing cards is Scotland's Daniel Young.
There's obviously a lot happened probably the last couple of months, so that's where all the big results have been coming, which obviously have got me in a good position in the rankings. So yeah, it's been a really good year, been consistent start, and then sort of I've had the last couple of months with a bit of fireworks, and as you said, managed to get the first win, which was yeah, on home soil, which was just amazing.
So with all the home support watching on, Dan Young taps in for par, and after 2 close calls in France back in June, the Scot is finally a winner on the HotelPlanner Tour.
Massively proud. Obviously, to win anywhere out here is a tough task, and every Scottish player probably puts a little bit extra pressure on themselves to win that one. So yeah, to get over the line was amazing, especially obviously I had a reasonable lead going into the Sunday, which probably makes it a little more stressful than anything else in terms of you look at 4-shot leads and people just expect you to win, but yeah, that's never the case in golf. I don't think any lead's safe till you finish 72 holes. So it was extra pleasing, obviously, to get that over the line. It was just so cool to have so many friends and family come down, and then yeah, it's nice to be able to get home and celebrate that evening as well, rather than obviously being sitting in the airport like most other weeks. The big difference, I think, if you probably look at my season from last year into this year, last year was very similar in terms of consistency. I made a lot of cuts. The big difference this year is I got the win, but also I've had 2 or 3 other sort of top 3, top 4 finishes, which to obviously get off this tour, that's what you need, where all the points are sort of top heavy. So that was the big difference for me, is the consistency's been there for probably the last couple of years. The biggest thing was then making that jump into the sort of top 10, top 15, top 20 finishes, and just churning those weeks into the big weeks, which is what you need. So that's been the most pleasing part for me, is being able to do that, because obviously that's not easy to do in itself, and I guess there's no real formula to say why that's happened. I think I've had that chat with people around me, and it's like, what's been the difference? And honestly, I don't think there's any one thing. I think one thing that I feel like I've just kind of improved year on year, and I've just felt like it's just that 1% each year, and you keep kind of growing a little bit and just trying to get that little bit better every week, every year, and yeah, this year it's hopefully going to take me up another level.
Victory aside, there have been plenty of other highlights for Young over the summer. He qualified his way into the Open Championship at Royal Portrush. It was a maiden major appearance. He also picked it up in back-to-back events on the DP World Tour, at the Nexo Championship and the Danish Golf Championship, bagging a top 30 finish at Trump International in a campaign full of progress.
The Open was probably obviously the highlight, but in terms of, yeah, that just gave you the little bit extra motivation to go, this is kind of the environment and things like that you want to be in every week. You want for nothing in an event like that. You're treated like a king. It's obviously so cool to play in a major. And there was just, again, a lot of family and friends were there, but just this sort of playing in front of crowds like that, it was an amazing experience, and that just gave me a bit of extra motivation to go, right, let's really knuckle down and push on and try and wrap up the card for next year as quickly as possible, and then just obviously adding to the layers of experience that you want to get for next year, playing a couple of events like that, and they were two really good events.
Young hasn't been the only one proudly flying the Scottish flag this season. David Law leads the road to Mallorca. Ewan Walker is just outside the top 10, with Callum Fife and Ryan Lumsden also prominent in the rankings.
Last year was a bit disappointing. Me and Ewan had a chance going into the grand final and didn't quite get the job done. Hopefully, I think Ryan Lumsden's having a pretty good year as well, so that's another guy with a chance. So there could potentially be 5 of us get off, which would just be amazing. I mean, but yeah, I think it just shows you where Scottish golf is. Obviously, Davy's dropped back down, but looking like he's going to obviously jump back straight away. And you see the guys in the main tour they've been great for chalking up wins for the last 3 or 4 years. Callum, Grant, Ewan, Connor now got over the line as well, which was amazing. And then obviously Bob's kind of at that level above at the moment as well. So it's amazing to have so many good Scottish guys out there, and it'd be amazing if we can get another maybe 3, 4, even 5, like I said, out there next year.
With one hand on a DP World Tour card already, Young has shifted his focus and he's now targeting top spot in the rankings.
Yeah, I think that would just probably be the cherry on top of a great year. Obviously, position I'm in, it's more of a realistic goal that I can win the rankings. I'm not far behind Dave. It's very bunched at the top, and obviously there's a lot of good players up and around there, so it won't be easy, but yeah, I'm in a position where it's possible. So to win the rankings out here, it's the standard. There's so many good golfers nowadays out here. I think you guys see that week in, week out. From a personal perspective, it would just be very satisfying to win the rankings.
Lofty ambitions indeed, but certainly achievable if his current form is anything to go by. But how would Young fare as the GAC Rosa Challenge Tour got underway on Thursday? Young went off the first tee just before 1 o'clock, alongside fellow winners this season, Jonathan Guth Rasmussen and Jamie Rutherford. The Scot would have to lean on his short game early on. Having missed the green at his opening hole, he showed a deft touch to get up and down and avoid dropping a shot. Young created plenty of opportunities on his outward 9, but his flat stick didn't play ball. He reeled off 8 straight pars, but a 3-putt bogey on the 9th saw him turn at 1 over. Patience was required for Young as he failed to cash in on the par 5 10th hole. He registered 2 more pars on 11 and 12 before finally earning a reward for his efforts. He almost holed out for eagle on the 13th. A straightforward tap-in would set up his very first birdie of the day. Another followed at the 14th as he dipped under par for his round. However, he was unable to sustain that momentum. He dropped a shot on 17, while another bogey on 18 saw him sign for a 1 over par 71 and a share of 94th place.
I actually played really nicely, to be honest. I felt like I played really solid most of the day. I had two loose drives. But yeah, out with that, I played really good, just struggled on the greens, had 2-3 putts. I'm not too disappointed because I felt like I played good, so there's no reason why I can't go out and shoot a good one in the morning.
John Goff posted the early clubhouse mark with a 64, while Sebastian Garcia had matched him late on in the day. Out in the final group though, Toby Hunt had to rely on the light of the electronic scoreboard to make his par putt on the 18th and join Goff and Garcia at the top of the leaderboard. It was a case of early morning light for Young on Friday. Sitting 2 shots adrift of the cut line, an improvement was required if he was to have any chance of sticking around for the weekend. Teeing off at 7.55 on the par 5 10th, Young set about the task admirably. A fine chip on his opening hole led to a birdie. He returned to level par for the tournament. He'd struggled with the putter the day before, and it was again a mixed bag in round 2. A birdie effort missed on 11. Before there was a decent par save here on the 12th. 6 more pars followed as Young turned in 1 under for the day. A double bogey on the first hole, his 10th, could have scuppered his round completely, but he bounced back well. He birdied the second hole and then followed that with another good chip here on the par 5 third to set up birdie. Following those gains, Young was now 1 under and back on track. But then, disaster struck. Back-to-back bogeys at 4 and 5 saw him drift outside the mark again. He was unable to recover in time, and despite an excellent par on the last, Young signed for a second consecutive 71, 2 over par, and just a second cut missed this entire season on the HotelPlanner Tour.
I mean, I played a lot better than my score suggested, so I think in terms of positive, there's plenty of positives, to be honest. I said yesterday, I had a lot of fiddly numbers yesterday, found it hard to get it real close to the pins on a low-scoring week, so it's one of those things, it's golf, it's not easy.
Meanwhile, Hugo Townsend was among those who set what appeared to be the clubhouse target of 8 under par. But that was bettered by Romain Wattel. His 64 saw him take a 1-shot lead into the weekend. Coming up, we celebrate a past graduate's stateside success. And we find out who rose to the top at the GAC Rosa Challenge Tour. See you after the break. Welcome back to the HotelPlanner Tour and event number 24 on the schedule, the GAC Rosa Challenge Tour. At the midway mark of the tournament, it was Romain Wattel with a slender advantage after rounds of 67 and 64. However, with 15 golfers within 3 shots of his lead, it really was anyone's for the taking. The start of the 3rd round was delayed by 2 hours due to a storm in the area, but eventually things got underway. So a wet start to moving day in Poland, watched by Josh Antman.
In the first part of the show, Dan Young mentioned the strength of Scottish golf. Seems every week a Scots in contention. This week, Callum Fyfe's turn. This one of 8 birdies for the day to grab an early share of the lead. Sluggish start for the day for Hugo Townsend. He was in that logjam in 2nd place at the start of the day. 5 pars in a row, and the first birdie came on the 6th. Dropped 1 on 8, but then hit this absolute stunner on the 9th. Not to be outdone, his playing partner Romain Wattel was first to make his birdie on 9. Very few highlights though for him though on a tough day for the Frenchman, as he signed for a 1 over 71. So a simple tap in for Townsend for birdie, now 9 under and in a 5-way tie for the lead. His father Peter played in the Ryder Cup in 69, that famous tie at Birkdale, when Nicholas conceded the putt to Jacqueline. He also played in 71 in St Louis. Starting to find some form, Hugo Townsend. This at the par 5 10th hole. He was miles away in 2, but found this monster putt for eagle. Finally someone breaking free from the bunch. Townsend with a 2-shot lead made birdies at 12 and 13 to extend his advantage. Just 6 birdies on 16 all day. This the 7th from Townsend, now cruising 14 under and 5 clear. As the sun was setting on day 3, Townsend had this for par on the final hole, which he convert 6 under par 64, 3 top 10s to his name this season, now on track to claim a first win.
Callum Five carded the low round of the day, a 7 under par 63, to grab a share of second place on 9 under. Matsoli and Albers joined him on that number, but it was Townsend on top, 5 clear and in fine shape heading into the final round.
I've been playing solid. I mean, obviously it helps holding a long putt here or there, but I've been good off the tee, just keeping in play, hitting on the greens, good lag putting, and then occasionally the long one drops.
Tommy Fleetwood is one of the most recognisable faces in world golf. During his 15 years as a professional, he's crafted an impressive resume with 10 victories to his name, 7 of those on the DP World Tour.
Tommy Fleetwood, you legend.
Despite his success in Europe, he hadn't managed to bag a title on the other side of the pond. After 164 starts and 30 top 5 finishes on the PGA Tour, all that finally changed. Fleetwood entered the winner's circle in Atlanta, winning the Tour Championship along with the FedEx Cup and its $10 million prize. It's been a remarkable journey to the top of the game for Fleetwood, and it all started on the HotelPlanner Tour. He turned pro in 2010, and through the 5 invites he received that year on the HotelPlanner Tour, he managed to earn full status for the following season. And he made the most of that opportunity, winning his first professional title at the Kazakhstan Open in 2011. Fleetwood enjoyed a stellar campaign, topping the rankings and securing his DP World Tour card for the following season.
I just always remember there being a great mix, because there's sort of veterans of the game that have, say they've struggled for a year or two and are trying to make their way back on the tour, and then there's guys that are coming out so fresh, you know, from amateur level or professional level, making their way up from the tour. So there's always been such a great mix and a great group of people, and I absolutely loved it. I always consider myself very lucky that I got to spend a year out here on the tour, you know, making my way in professional golf, and I think it taught me a lot of lessons along the way.
Those lessons stood Fleetwood in good stead as his career skyrocketed in the following years. No surprise, though, given the calibre of golfer that's graduating every year from the HotelPlanner Tour.
The strength and depth of the game is getting stronger and stronger all the time, and professional golf's so tough. And I still think, you know, if you can make it on here and you can step up, you're a fantastic golfer, and you've had a fantastic season. I love the attitude of the players out here. I love the hunger, and I love the competitiveness. And it's such a pure form, really, of the game. I really do think that. And everybody's so competitive but so supportive of each other at the same time. And I think it's just a really nice environment to play in.
Back to the matter at hand then. The final round of the GAC Rosa Challenge Tour. Hugo Townsend had a commanding 5-shot cushion heading into Sunday. But with some very hungry players still hopeful behind him, would he be able to close out a maiden title on the HotelPlanner Tour? Josh Antman can tell us.
So Townsend out in front, but Tobias Johnson, fellow Swede, was emerging as a serious contender. 2 top 3s early in the season, again in the mix here, now tied for second. Stress-free par to start for Townsend, a solid approach on 2, and an even better putt, that to get to 15 under par. 2 pars followed for the Swede, and he looked to be in complete control of his game. This delightful approach at the par 4 5th hole. Little bit of spin, set up another birdie, and it'd be a 6-shot lead for Townsend. Wasn't all plain sailing for Townsend. He made a mess of the 6th with a double bogey, and The ever-popular Justin Walters was on an absolute tear. Out in 30, birdie 10. That was for a 7th birdie of the day, not to be. Townsend dropped another on 7, opening the door even more to the chasing pack. Another South African, Jorvan Rabula, also enjoying a good day. Winner of the Amateur Championship in 2018, joined countryman Walters on 10 under and just 3 back. Anton Albers, meanwhile, was emerging as the leading contender, had that fabulous 63 on Friday, and a great approach here. He'd make the birdie to get to 11 under par and within 2 of Townsend. Townsend made a mess of his front 9 after a great start, turned in 1 over and had been caught by Johnson. This was a huge bonus though, however, at the par 3 14th hole for birdie. He'd regained the lead once again. Plenty out watching on Sunday, and Townsend was steady on the back 9. 2 more pars since regaining the lead, and another long birdie putt to extend his advantage to 2 over Anton Albers. Amazing week on the greens from the Swede. Johnson already in the clubhouse on 12 under par. This from Albers to post the new clubhouse mark, a par at the last. Finishes 13 under par, brilliant 66 to finish his week. So a 2-shot cushion then for Townsend, playing the last. This for par. And to seal a maiden HotelPlanner Tour title for the 26-year-old.
Justin Walters produced the low round of the day. His 63 was 2 better than anyone else and vaulted him into solo 4th. Tobias Johnson finished 1 clear of Walters, but it was another Swede who kept coolest to top the leaderboard in Poland.
I think it would just free me up more, knowing that, you know, I've done it now. I've won here, I can say that I've won, and just showing up to every week knowing that, I mean, I can compete. So I think just it would free me up, and I mean, obviously it's golf, anything can happen, but I mean, I'm just happy to win.
There's just one change this week to the top 10 on the road to Mallorca, and it's courtesy of a sweet swinging Swede. Hugo Townsend vaulted 32 places up the rankings and into the top 10. Tobias Johnson also gained significant ground, up 7 places to 12th. It's now New Zealand's Sam Jones in possession of that all-important 20th position. And with that Swedish success story, our time in Poland has come to an end. Next for our 2025 contenders, the sat-nav points towards Portugal. So join us next time when the pursuit of promotion to the DP World Tour continues.